Hello people, how are you doing? This is another of my intermediate advanced videos, right? You know, this channel has two different playlists. One is intermediate advanced, which is recorded entirely in English, and another one which is dedicated to basic students, right? So I speak in Portuguese and I explain English grammar using my mother tongue, okay? All right, so today we will continue studying verbs and what follows next, okay? In general, when we have one verb and another just following, we have to check whether we put a preposition, whether we put the verb followed by ing. So depending on the case, depending on the verb, you must consider the rules, okay? Rules which are involved. Oh, more rules, yes. English grammar has a lot of rules, but I think it's much easier, much easier than in Portuguese, right? So let's get going. When I record videos entirely in English, I like to speak a lot, so I hope you don't mind. And it's good that you listen to someone speaking entirely in English. It's a good idea also to consider that if you want to be fluent in a language, you must speak in English all times, okay? So that's the reason I have two different playlists. Okay, let's see first example. I've given up. I've given up studying German. For example, let's suppose it's not the case, but let's suppose that I tried to study German and I considered it to be very difficult and I have given up, okay? No, it's too difficult. It's not possible to me to study anymore. So when you say give, the verb give up, I'm not using Portuguese here. Give up, it's when you no longer want to do something, or you made a tremendous effort, but you were unable to achieve what you wanted, so you give up, okay? Give up is a verb, and it's an irregular verb. So give, gave, given. The past participle, okay? I use here because I have the present perfect. After the verb give up, if I have another verb following, it must have ing, okay? Although putting ing in a verb after another doesn't mean that it's in continuous form. No, it's not continuous. It's just because of a rule. When I have two verbs together, and one of them is give up, the next has to have ing. Stop doing that. It's annoying, right? Let's suppose you are studying and your brother is making a terrible noise and it's bothering you. You must have concentration. You must concentrate in order to study. It's a very difficult topic and he keeps making this noise. Keeps making. Yeah, that's right. Keeps making that terrible noise. So you ask him to shut up. Stop doing that. It's annoying. So after the verb stop, the next verb has to be with ing. After the verb keep, the next verb has to be followed by ing. What is this ing doing here? Annoying. Is it a verb? No, it's an adjective. Many verbs, for example, annoy is a verb. It becomes an adjective by putting ing. Bore is a verb. Boring is an adjective. Interest, to interest something or someone, can be a verb, can be a noun. If you put ing, it becomes interesting. It becomes an adjective as well, okay? Yeah, that's a lot of information to absorb, but don't worry, I'm just giving some examples so that you see. I like to explain every single particle, every simple part of a sentence, because it has many topics in just one sentence, okay? All right, more, let's see more. He doesn't mind being interrupted. Okay, so you have a teacher and he offers to help everyone who comes to his desk, and he says, I don't mind being interrupted. If you have any doubts, please come forth and ask me, and I will be glad to help. Okay, so he doesn't mind being interrupted. So mind, if you have another verb, has to be with ing, okay? Well, in some cases, you may have some finished actions, okay? For example, I admitted just one M. I misspelled, okay? Admitted having stolen the purse. Okay, let's suppose I'm a thief, right? I'm at a restaurant, I see a lady with a purse. The purse, I can see the purse. It's very easy to catch, so I pickpocket her. So then the police catches me, start making me some questions, pressuring me, and then I admitted having stolen the purse. After the verb admit, the next verb has to be with ing. And you can see that this is a complete action, right? You use the past participle here. I can use the past participle here. So it's possible to use such a structure whenever you talk about finished actions, okay? The verb is steal, stole, stolen. The past participle is the third one, okay? The next one, let's see more examples. I can use in continuous form, for example. Yes, it's possible. I regretted having said that to you. So I apologize. Yes, I apologize to you for what I said. I apologize to you. Apologize to you for what I said. So I regretted having said that to you. So I can use this structure with ing and a verb in the past participle like I used here. So it's possible. But to use a verb with ing, you must be aware that the verb must be in the rule that I mentioned. After one verb, you have another with ing. So you have to memorize basically a list of verbs which are mostly used with ing, right? So I regretted. After the verb regret, the next one has to be with ing. And I can use this structure. Regret plus having plus a verb in the past participle. So it's completely possible. But it's also possible to use the conventional, the conventional structure. I regretted saying that to you. So it's not necessary to write using having plus a verb in the past participle. You can simply write that way. You use the verb regret, and the next one you put ing, right? As usual. Don't forget, the verb regret, I have to double the last consonant before putting ing. The same way, the verb admit, I have to double the last consonant in order to put ing. So which rule is that? I have the stressed syllable, the last one is the stressed syllable, and I have the sequence consonant, vowel, consonant. So I have to double the last consonant before adding ing. Okay? Let's see. Another possibility, okay? He denied calling her at night. To deny, after the verb deny, the next one has to be with ing. And pay attention, deny ends with y. So before putting ed, because it's a regular verb, I have to drop the y and add ied, okay? It's possible to write the sentence in another way. I can say, he denied that he had called her at night. So let's analyze this sentence. First, we have two actions in the past, right? He denied something. If we draw the timeline here, he denied that he had called her at night. So we have two actions in the past. The first one comes in the past participle, which is a verb had plus a verb, the main verb in the past participle. Okay, so I can write this sentence that way, and they have the same meaning, okay? But if I write the verb plus another verb, I have to add ing. Here, it's not necessary because the sentence is entirely different. We have a different structure here. We have here a reported speech, okay? We have a reported speech here, all right? And last but not least, we have another example with the verb suggest, okay? I suggested studying on weekend. Yes, we have a test on Monday, so I suggested let's study together, let's form a group study. I suggested studying on weekend. So Thales suggested that we studied on weekend. Okay? Or we had studied on weekend. Because I'm reporting in the present, for example. But it's possible it's also possible to leave the sentence as it is in the simple past. So what I want to emphasize is that the structure is different, the rules are different. Here we have a kind of a reported speech, while here we have a simple sentence using verb plus another with ing, okay? So that's it, people. I hope you enjoyed it. Next lesson, we will continue to see which structures follow a verb, but not necessarily ing, because verbs can be followed by another verb with ing. It can be followed by a preposition like to, okay? For example, I like to study, right? So you have to check to understand when we use prepositions, when we don't use prepositions. So see you next lesson. Bye bye.